Food shopping is so different up north. You know, in New York, people go to these fancy sounding grocery stores with names like Zabar's. You know, and I was there a couple of months ago and I heard this woman say, "Now, can I serve white truffle chev with quail?" You don't hear that where I grew up, I'm sorry. Because the last time I was shopping at the Piggly Wiggly store, woman next to me was like, "Do you think I can serve Velveeta with fatback?" Right? What? Good old Velveeta. I mean, what is that stuff anyway? I don't even know what it is. It's like Cheese Whiz and Silly Putty or something all put together. But, you know, you got to admit it's a versatile dish, right? I mean, we grew up, you know, my mom would slice it and put it on Ritz crackers, you know, for fancy holiday appetizers. We would melt it in the microwave with Rotel tomatoes. Did you ever do that? That nacho dip? We would caulk the tub with it.
Hey. My name is Gibran. If you guys have trouble pronouncing it tonight, don't sweat it. No pressure, not a big deal. It's interesting though, I feel like a lot of times when I meet people and I say my name, I feel like they only hear what they're already expecting, right? Because I'll meet someone and I'll be like, "Hi, my name's Gibran." And they'll be like, "Oh, nice to meet you, Muhammad." And I'll be like, "What? How in the world did they get my middle name? That is amazing. Are they psychic?" Growing up, my dad would always try to prove to us how poor he was when he came to this country by telling us these elaborate immigration stories about how many dollars he had in his pocket. The thing is, I knew the stories weren't true because the amount of dollars would always be different, even though the rest of the story would be exactly the same. He'd be like, "Gibran, Beta Gibran, I came here with just $4.99 in my pocket." I'm like, "Dad, were you on a sale? You told me the same story 2 days ago. You said you had $2.25 in your pocket." He's like, "Inflation." And I'm like, "You can apply inflation to your own story?" Technically, I'm considered a progressive Muslim. I'm extremely progressive. I'm Jewish. I'm out there. No, I'm not, but like forehead up, people get confused a lot.
One of the things I love to do is just before Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, go around to family and friends and tell them, if there's anything during the past year I have said or done that has hurt you or offended you, I want you to know you're too sensitive. My wife and I have been married for 49 years, just celebrated our anniversary, 49 years. And our lives are totally in sync. For example, at the same time I got a hearing aid, she stopped mumbling. It turns out the Torah has something to say about kids that age. According to one of the commentaries, the reason Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac at the age of 12 and not 13 is because at 13, it wouldn't have been a sacrifice. Years ago, we got some good news about him. We found out we were able to arrange a student loan for him. We loaned him to a family in Iowa. And we were about to take off one day, and the pilot got on. He said, "We have some very special guests on board. Susan and Barry Baxter are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. They're sitting in seats 3B and 27D. The background of the Laugh and Peace tour and some of the amazing things that have happened, and then do some Q&A, and then we'll wrap things up. But I started this thing in 2001, way back then. December of 2001, I had hired a publicist, and the job of a publicist is to raise a performer's visibility. She was not particularly effective. She basically got me into the witness protection program. But she called me in December. She said, "I got this great idea. Why don't you do a show with a Muslim comedian?" And I said, "Do you have any other ideas?" And she persevered against my wishes, but she found a guy in California. We swapped videotapes, it was way back then, liked what we saw, and began doing shows together. And at one point we said, you know, wouldn't it be cool if we had a Christian comedian to join us? But we couldn't find any Christian comedians.
We've been working together. I met Bob when I was in seminary. I was trying to write a thesis on humor and religion, and no one out there thought that made any sense. I found Bob doing a search on the internet. He was doing a show in New Jersey. I literally just showed up and introduced myself. The next thing you know, I'm opening for him, and the rest is kind of the story of our long relationship in comedy. And I just wanted to say, Bob, I totally agree with what you said. This is a ministry. It totally is, and I think it's one of the more important pieces of what I do as a minister as well. And here's 2 reasons why I love this show. One is that when we laugh together, our worlds overlap for a split second, and we see what we have in common, and we see we have way more in common than we think. And the second part that I love about this show is that it's respectful comedy. You know, so much we see about comedy is tearing down, building walls. This builds bridges.
I met Bob and Susan when I was in kindergarten, and
Okay, fair.
no, I'm not even that young. 2 years ago, I'm not the comedian Bob was referencing from 2001, but was it 2 years ago that we first for a couple of years, and it's been great. I get to go to these various places all across America, meet different groups of people, with one positive cause, putting people together, making people laugh, building bridges, as Susan mentioned. And it's great. We all have different vibes on stage. We all have different personalities, different styles, and it's amazing, and everyone's a different flavor. Like, as far as audiences, they may respond to one more than the other, or one more than the other. And, like Bob was saying, a lady at a show said that, for an hour and a half, she forgot she was sick. In my case, she remembered she was sick. So we all got different vibes, and it's great to be a part of this.
Because we think there could be healing if all of us together, Muslims, Christians and Jews, if all of us together could simply learn Irish dancing.